everybody? Welcome to another episode of Spring Fever. As always, it's me, XFL Jim, here to tell you about everything spring football. From the USFL and XFL, all the way down to fan-controlled football. I love all my spring leagues the same. I love each of my darling spring leagues absolutely the same. But we're going to start at the top. If you can see the banner behind me, if you're watching this live, we got some USFL news. We actually had some USFL news today. There was a bunch of roster moves. There's future stuff. There's a lot of USFL news. So I'm going to go through my little list here, my listicle that I have of all USFL news, starting off with the announcement of the USFL's version of their Hard Knocks, United by Football, a season in the USFL. I'm so happy that this is going on. This is exactly what I dreamed of for the XFL. I want more access, more behind the scenes. And the fact that this is happening every week, just a nice little video. I don't know. I assume that it's going to be 30 minutes to an hour. We don't know how long it's going to be. But just getting this access to the players, that's something that I think spring football leagues can really, really shine with, is giving us the perfect amount of access, letting us know the players, letting these guys shine. What's up? What 1323 or 1323 Gamer TV? We are champions. We are champions in the garage, and the USFL will be champions because of this. The garage can get it. The USFL can get it. Hard Knocks can get it. United by Football can get it. I'm so excited. There's going to be bloopers. There's going to be memes. There's going to be like pseudo USFL celebrities made because of this. I am here for this. And if they want to bring me on as like an executive producer, my DMs and my email are open at xfljim@gmail.com for anybody running the USFL. I'm super happy that it's happening. I think it's also a great way to market these players, to kind of push them into the spotlight so the USFL can have their star players and kind of promote them in front of everything. I'm very excited with how that's going. Other USFL news, in the gambling sense, because everyone knows I'm a DGen at heart, we have the future prices for the USFL team. Starting at the top, we have the Panthers at plus 400 or 4-1. They're the favorites. I'm interested to see. I think it's because out of all the coaching hires, and maybe they had some splashy players getting. Plus 400 is a little interesting. And then we have a tie. We have the Bandits and the Breakers both at plus 500, 5-1. I kind of like those odds. I'm pretty high on the Bandits. If you watched my preview for the Tampa Bay Bandits, I kind of like how they're shaping up. And the Breakers, I say they're sneaky. I say they're a sneaky, really good team. But if you just look at these odds, they're top three for a reason. And I think they're going to have I think what you're going to see from the USFL is high-powered offenses are going to be what leads the way. Then you have the Maulers and the Stars at plus 600, the 6-1. Right there, the Bandits can get it at 5-1. I like that move. You have the Maulers and the Stars at 6-1. I'm not quite as high on the Maulers here, but the Stars right now are something I am. If anyone knows me, I'm a huge Bart Andrus fan. I think he's going to push his way through, and I love the Stars at 6-1 here. Haley's a God is interesting. Todd Haley's an interesting figure. We're seeing it in the comments. Todd Haley's a coin flip to me, whether or not he's a douchebag or if he ends up being a good coach, the Bandits could be the team to beat. But I love the Stars at 6-1. Then you have the Generals at 7-1. And rounding out, you have the Gamblers and the Stallions both at plus 750. I think the reason you're seeing the plus 750, these are the long shot odds, is Kevin Sumlin and Skip Holtz, kind of not really great college coaches. If I had to pick one team to bet the garage on, I think I'm backing the Stars. I like the value I have for that. I trust Bart Andrus. I trust Brian Scott. I think the garage is backing the Philadelphia Stars in the inaugural season of the USFL here in 2022. I think that's what I'm backing my Brinks truck into the Stars. So official, write it down. XFL Jim, USFL Jim, CFL Jim, we're all betting on the Stars. This is my rent check. This is my utilities. I'm putting it all on the Stars. Other USFL news, we had some roster updates drop today. In fact, we had a roster update drop literally right now, right before I went live to record this. I'm going to go team by team, kind of see what they got, give you a little blurbs on what I know. This happened while I was working because, as everyone knows, I'm a working man, getting that grind on. So I'm going to go through these roster updates, starting with the Maulers. They added running back Madre London and offensive tackle Justin Evans, which is perfect because they released running back Davion Smith, and Isaiah Battle did not report to training camp. So I know Madre London, they brought in some guys that I think can fill the spots pretty decently, but as everyone who's listening to me knows, I was very high on Davion Smith. He was a great running back in the XFL for the Vipers, and I think he's actually going to be missed pretty heavily in this Maulers team. And Isaiah Battle was a well-known Clemson offensive tackle, so I don't know what's up with him. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what's going on there. Justin Evans, I think, can fill the role pretty decently, so I don't think the Maulers left out too much. Next up, we have the Panthers. They added offensive guard Cordell Iwagwu, and they released offensive linebacker Trey Threat, which is all-time name. Yeah, Battle was a no-show. It's a dang shame. And then did not report. We had Marquell Harrell. I think the Panthers basically relatively stay the same. I don't see too much changing with them. For the Breakers, we have they added cornerback Neville Clark, offensive tackle Kai Abshir, offensive guard Brandon Rolfe, and cornerback Mike Stevens. They added a lot, but they also released Derek Jones and DeAndre Wallace, and they also had their offensive tackle Donnell Green not report to training camp, and they have on the reserve list Brandon Rolfe. Lots of moves for the Breakers. I don't think it overall changes too much. I like the addition of Kai Abshir. Mike Stevens is also a pretty good addition. I think the Breakers are going to be in a pretty good spot. For the Bandits, they added wide receiver Rashard Davis, defensive Zach Daw, offensive tackle Jalen Booth, and DN Johnny Maxey. And we had Eli Rogers not report, and Adam Schuler not report, and Tyler Catalina not report, and Johnny Maxey not report. I think this actually, I want to say the Bandits kind of break even, but I think they come out a little behind because Eli Rogers, while he did not play in the XFL, he was the #1 skill player drafted in the XFL. So that kind of tells you how highly these spring leagues think of Eli Rogers. I think he's a big loss for him, but I think Rashard Davis, I think, is going to make some waves here. I think he's played in the CFL a little bit, and I think he's going to make some stuff happen. I like the move. I like picking him up, so it's not a total loss. So I think the Bandits kind of squeezed by a bit. The Stars, they added safety Evan Worthington and tight end Pro Wells. Not reporting was Jack Tacho and tight end Bug Howard. The loss of Bug Howard is big. It's big for the Stars. I wonder if this might shake the odds a little bit. Pro Wells is decent, but he's no Bug Howard. Bug Howard was, I think, he was my #1 or 2 tight end in this league, so that's a big loss. The Stallions, they added defensive tackle Jordan Thompson, and they released Aston Adams. I think Jordan Thompson, he played at Northwestern. That's a defensive school. It's a good Big Ten school. Like the move. I think this is basically a wash. If not an addition, I think the Stallions might get better from this. And then the Generals added defensive end Deion Sizer, quarterback Luis Perez, tight end Woody Brandon, and wide receiver, this one was the latest one, wide receiver Camerson Eccles-Looper. They released the defensive end Malik Hamner. Quarterback Ben Holmes has been released. I hate the news. He broke his leg or arm. I forget exactly which, but it sucks. Tight end Carson Williams and wide receiver Christopher Pratt. Obviously, I'm going to talk Luis Perez. Luis Perez, the Rat King himself, he returns to spring football. He's a staple of spring football. I think he's going to make a huge difference for the Generals. I like the move. I think he's going to be a great backup. I think he could even challenge for the starter position. That's what we got going in. Rat King Luis Perez, back in spring football, back in my life. I'm so happy. I love watching him so much. Now, we are on to the USFL team analysis. This week, we're talking Michigan Panthers. Who wants a mustache ride? I already fucked that up. We're going to start off talking head coach. One, Jeff Fisher. Look at that. Look at that picture. Look at that man. I don't know what he's looking at. You know what? Knowing Jeff Fisher, he's probably looking at like an offensive lineman drill. And he's just soaking it in. This is the kind of man that just values hogs and real hogs. It's true. It's a true thing. Starting off, we're going to be talking about the quarterback, Shea Patterson. My boy. The international man of mystery, Shea Patterson. Everyone knows his time at Michigan, Ole Miss, his college days. He showed flashes of excellence. He actually had a really good season at Michigan. His junior season was really good. They only lost to Ohio State. Dude, Panthers can get it. Jeff will provide it. The whole thing with Shea, and for the Michigan Panthers as a whole, is potential. If Shea Patterson can live up to his expectations, to his highlights, that's what we want to see from him. I think this team is in a good spot. He's played in a whole bunch of spots. He's been in the CFL, the NFL. He's backed up Pat Mahomes. He's been in good quarterback rooms. I think he'll be pretty good. I think Shea will be pretty darn good. I just really hope that the offense Jeff Fisher trots out there lets Shea Patterson just get loose. That's what I'm hoping for. It's all what I'm looking for. I just want Shea Patterson looking fantastic out there. Up next, we got wide receiver Jeff Badet. XFL legend Jeff Badet. The man is just fast as shit. He ran a 4.240 at his Oklahoma Pro Day. He's a big locker room guy. He brings in a good energy. I just feel he really hasn't gotten the chance to shine. Oklahoma, he was kind of outshined by CeeDee Lamb. He wasn't the focal point of that offense. He was pretty good at Kentucky. But he didn't shine at Oklahoma. He didn't shine on the Renegades. I think Donald Parham was the big receiving threat on that Renegades team. And Jeff Badet was like, you want to see him. He's a speedster that could take the top off teams, but the quarterback issues that the Renegades had, Landry Jones could bomb it and he could throw it, but he was only in for a few games, and then he never really got to shine. He never get to see the full, similar to Shea Patterson, the word of the day is potential. Jeff Badet at his full potential is fast as fuck, taking the top off of teams, and I think he's a great addition with a Shea Patterson-like quarterback. Moving on to running back Stevie Scott III. The dude is big. He's big. He's a big running back. He's just a tough, hard-nosed running back. He's not going to get you style points, but he's going to move the damn ball. He's going to move the rock. This guy will fall for 3 yards every time. He's just consistent. He's a great blocker, and he gets his hole, finds the hole, and runs. He's got one speed, and it's sort of kind of fast. That's what he's running. He's getting tackled, but he's getting you 2 to 3 yards every time, damn consistently, and he plays a lot. The guy is pretty good at not getting injured. I think that's a huge bonus for these kind of things. Moving on, we got Joey Magnifico, tight end. I love this guy. All-time name. It's going to be fantastic to hear it. Hearing him get a touchdown is going to be friggin' amazing. He's not the biggest tight end. He's got about the size of your typical halfback, but the guy is hard-nosed as hell. He loves to block, which is something I love in a tight end. And he's just got such good durability. He's such a strong tight end. He's so tough. I just love it so much. And I think it's going to be a nice, safe option to pair with Jeff Badet taking the top off teams. You got Joey Magnifico down here being your safe, reliable option because he has hands made of glue traps. And last but not least, we move on to defense. Jeff Fisher's speciality, Kayvon Walker, another XFL legend. If you guys watched our draft episode with Sports Gambling Podcast, you'll know how high I am on Kayvon Walker. This man was, in my opinion, the best player on the best unit on the best defense in the XFL, being a defensive end on one New York Guardians. Speaking of Rat Kings, this guy is a Rat legend as well. Love this man. He's an animal. He gets sacks left and right. He's just great at disrupting the field. He's mean. He's everything you want out of a defensive end. And I love it. I love it so much. Overall analysis for the Michigan Panthers. I like the team quite a bit. Going over this team, and right after the draft, I was kind of like, there's a lot of names I like. Going over this team again, I really think the word of the day is potential. If Shea Patterson can live up to the potential of his peaks, if Jeff Badette can live up to the potential of him being like the fastest fuck guy, if Kayvon Walker can live up to that potential of being a mean defensive end, if Joey Magnifico can live up to the potential, exactly. We got the comments right here. Potential league MVP, Kayvon Walker, 1,000%. 1,000%. I think the Michigan Panthers, and the potential of Jeff Fisher to actually have a nice running offense. That's what we want to see. If they could do that, they're favorites for a reason. The word of the day for the Michigan Panthers is potential. I like them. Not at 400, not at 4-1, but I like them. I like them quite a bit. Moving on, we have the spring football roundup, baby. Let's go. Starting off, XFL. The Rock on Twitter. Not on Twitter, on Instagram, because he's always on Instagram. He's teasing us right now. He had a little video. Obviously, he's got to have his this Terramana tequila in there. He's teasing a little announcement. So hopefully we get an XFL announcement sometime this month. I hope. Usually when they tease something like this, when The Rock or Danny actively tease something, it usually means it's coming within the month. So hopefully by the time before the USFL starts, we get some XFL news. That would be amazing. That would be awesome. Otherwise, not too much with the XFL. CFL. We have the Global Combine going strong. It's hitting hard, everybody. There's a couple players I wanted to highlight, and by couple, I just mean one. Carlos Bronze, a Latvian defensive end with pink hair, is maybe one of the scariest motherfuckers I've ever seen. He's 6'4", 270, and runs a 4.9 40. There's not too much more to say other than that. He's a little stiff in the drill, so he's not super flexible, but I think on the right roster in the CFL, he's going to shake some stuff up, and he's going to be a beast. He has all the immeasurables. He has all the built-ins that you want out of a defensive end. Great pickup. Moving on to the ELF. ELF's doing a really cool thing. They're creating a symbolic team called the Ukraine Braves. They're raising money for the crisis in Ukraine. 100% of the profits of the jersey sales for the Ukraine Braves are going to Ukrainian humanitarian causes, which I love. In other news in the ELF, we have the Barcelona Dragons adding Sean Wilson, a former Oregon State Beaver, to the roster. Anytime one of these ELF, X-League, anytime these guys get like D1 college football players, it's always a good move. Like the move. I watched a little bit of film on him at Oregon State, and I think he brings in a nice backfield for, I'm going to call them the D-Wagons, because they're a straight-up wagon. X-League. X-League news. We actually had a little bit of news, because the Fujitsu Frontiers, the runner-up last year and the perennial powerhouse, just added the best kicker in Japan, Toshiki Sato. This man is a personal friend. He's a kicking mentor, and I think he makes his addition to the Frontiers makes them the front runners in the X League this season, in my opinion. I think they're the team to beat, because he's just gonna they pass the 40-yard line. It's automatic. It's auto-fucking-matic. Major League Football. I'll be honest, I still don't know too much going on. I'm doing a deep dive. I just recently skimmed through and read Adam Pelletier's story on Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Link in the YouTube description for that. On Major League Football, kind of clearing up a lot of the history behind the league. I know they've had financial issues in the past. I'm excited. I'm optimistic of what they could do. I know they're trying to start for 2022. They have 3 coaches. They have Bill Connolly, who was an assistant at Ohio State. They have Terry Shea, and they have the big one, Jerry Glanville. He's the big name. He's the big hire so far. Obviously, that's why they listed him first. I wonder if trying to start this league this fast in 2022 is a little soon. Maybe they're going for the summer. I could see it. Maybe they're going for the fall. That'd be an interesting one, trying to do fall football. Their aim is to be a developmental league, but for people that hear that word and think spring league where the players pay, it's not that. They're actually going to be paying a flat rate to players, and I kind of dig it. I like a developmental league that's not trying to just take money from the players to actually do something. I think it creates a professional league of development, I think that's cool. And just in case anyone's worried, USF investigator Jim is on the case. He's going to uncover the truth about the MLFB, the truth. So anyone's worried about that, don't, because investigator Jim has got you covered. Fan-controlled football. I mean, yeah, everyone, I used to think Major League Football was kind of a scam. I saw a little comment in there, but I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. Fan-controlled football, Johnny Football is back. That's the news we got for the Fan-Controlled Football League. Johnny Football is back, making it really the only league I think he'll consistently return to and consistently play in. I think he should just list himself as a Fan-Controlled Football League player now. And as far as I'm aware, he's the only player that's been announced. For a league that's saying they're starting on April 16th, hint, hint, that's the same day that USFL is starting, everybody. That's pretty early. That's pretty late to be announcing players at this point in time. I don't know what's going on with FCFL. I really don't. They got NFTs going on. They got Johnny Football. They got celebrities. At this point, maybe FCFL is a money laundering scheme. Who fucking knows? And last, but certainly not least, we have Arena Football News, IFL, the Indoor Football League, the standings as of now. In the East, we have the Mass Pirates, number 1, 1-0. Bismarck Bucks, number 2, 2-1. Sioux Falls Storm, 2-1. Iowa Barnstormers, 1-1. Quad City Steamwheelers, 1-1. The Frisco Fighters, 1-1. And the Green Bay Blizzard, 0-2. It's only been 3 weeks, so of course a lot of these games are going to be, these teams are going to be real close in the standings. And in the Western, we have Arizona Rattlers, 2-0. The Tucson Sugar Skulls, all-time name, 1-0. The Bay Area Panthers, 1-1. The Northern Arizona Wranglers, 1-1. The Vegas Nighthawks, 1-1. The Duke City Gladiators, 0-2. The San Diego Strike Force, 0-2. 1323 Gamer TV. Oh shit, is the AFL back? No, this is the IFL. They have been a thing for a while. They've added and dropped teams left and right. I remember when I'm in Nebraska, I remember when Grand Island used to have a team. I remember the Danger. I also remember the Omaha Beef. I missed them too. I'm going to go through real quick. I'm going to just pick my my number 1 team. It's still Sioux City. Spoiler, it's still Sioux City. IFL's fun to watch. I'm going to make a plea right here at the end of the show. I'm going to make a plea to any sportsbook out there willing to listen. Let me wager on Indoor Football League. Let me wager on Arena Football. It's not like fan control football where the fans pick the stuff. It's a real sport with real teams and real players playing a real game. Let me bet on it. If I could bet on Peruvian baseball, let me bet on American indoor football. Come on. We're better than this. We're better than this, America. We are better than this. That'll do it for this episode of Spring Fever. USFL is marching along. We are at the 15-day mark. If you're watching this after the fact, we're at 2 weeks. We are at 2 weeks until the USFL starts. How fucking exciting is that? We're getting spring football in 2 weeks. You see me right now? If you look real close, I'm tingling in anticipation. Thank you all for watching. You guys make it worth every second. Say hashtag Garage Certified. I love you. I'll see you guys next week. Jim out. Let's fucking dip. Love you guys. Boom.